The best way to predict the future is to create it. And that's a quote by Peter Drucker. Time is precious, time is money, and this is the time for Money Talk on Atlantic Television Network. Good day, viewers, and welcome to a fresh episode of Atn Business on Atlantic Television Network, right here in the city of Port Harcourt. This is the network's medium of bringing the happenings in the economic sector of the society to our discerning viewers. This program is aimed at bringing to the doorstep of viewers the business, financial and economic activities from all strata of society. Its delivery is accentuated through the various stock exchanges across the world, news about government, economic activities, private sector business activities, lists with expert opinions, stakeholders analysis, and correspondent reports. By the end of the show, you can be rest assured of being informed accurately of activities around the world. I am your host, Wendy Aguma. We'll take a short break, and when we return, we'll read out the details. Don't go anywhere.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on-the-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today. Only on ATN.
Every day our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics.
Nobody's ambition is what the blood.
I have fought very firmly.
Natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody, and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on ATN Politics today.
People into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honorable
You human trafficker.
Honorable
You are a human
They are not picking our calls. They made up their minds.
So no agreement with the EU, but
Welcome back. Now let's go into market reports, local and international business news for today. Lekki Port is a game changer for Nigeria's economy, expected to contribute over $361 billion in economic impact over 4 to 5 years. This deep sea port, located in the Lagos Free Trade Zone, is Nigeria's first fully automated port equipped with world-class machines. Its strategic location and modern facilities give it a competitive edge over other ports in West Africa. Key benefits of the Lekki ports: improved trade efficiency, enhances external trade competitiveness through improved port efficiency and cost-effective port operations. Increased job opportunities expected to create over 169,000 direct and indirect jobs. It will boost Nigeria's GDP and facilitate trade volume. State-of-the-art infrastructure features 13 quay cranes with the capacity of 2.5 million 20-foot equivalent units. The port's development is a significant milestone in Nigeria's economic history, positioning the country as a regional maritime hub. With its completion, Lekki Port is poised to become a vital component of Nigeria's maritime infrastructure, supporting the country's economic growth and development. Federal government is embarked on an ambitious plan to boost mechanized farming and food security by recruiting and training 819 young Nigerians as tractor operators and mechanics. This initiative is crucial as the country currently has less than 5,000 functional tractors, despite producing or procuring over 30,000 agricultural machinery in the past. The training program, which will take place at centers in Akure and Musau, aims to equip participants with hands-on skills to handle farm machinery, focusing on youth and women. This move is vital as Nigeria lacks a national policy on agricultural mechanization, and the current methods of farming need to evolve to meet the demands of a growing population. Key objectives of the National Agricultural Mechanization Policy: it will promote mechanized farming practices, encourage the adoption of modern technology to increase productivity and food security. It will provide necessary tools, knowledge and resources to farmers to thrive in competitive global markets. Bola Tinubu has introduced 4 tax reform bills to National Assembly, aiming to enhance taxpayer compliance, strengthen fiscal institutions and foster a more effective and transparent fiscal regime. The bills are designed to streamline tax collections, ensure compliance, and optimize revenue. Key objectives of the tax reform bills: reduce multiple taxes that burden businesses and individuals, making Nigeria more attractive to investors. Improve tax administration and reduce tax disputes. Also provide a clear and concise framework for the efficient administration. The reforms aim to reposition Nigeria's fiscal outlook and meet the funding requirements of all agencies. The bills will allow agencies to focus on their respective functions rather than bothering other revenue collections. National in London Protocol, which will enhance environmental practices, safety and sustainability. This move is expected to significantly improve the sector, making it more efficient and effective in transporting goods and people. Benefits of implementing the London Protocol: improved environmental protection, strengthened waste management, alignment with sustainable international practices, support for sustainable development goals and health, stating that it's non-negotiable. The authority has already taken steps to improve safety, including mobilizing 350 officers to halt waterway crashes and work to enhance both standards and licensing. In addition to implementing the London Protocol, NIWA is also working to develop Nigeria's inland waterways infrastructure, including the construction of inland river ports and jetties, and the removal of derelicts and wreckage from inland waterways. These efforts aim to make Nigeria a leader in inland water transportation, development and management in Africa. Nigeria's national power grid has been experiencing frequent collapses, with over 200 recorded incidents in the last 9 years. The main causes of these collapses include poor management and oversight, aged infrastructure, insufficient power generation capacity, and natural disasters of external factors. To address these challenges, experts recommend several measures, including decentralization of the grid, breaking down the national grid into regional mini-grids to enhance resilience, and also subnational entities to generate and distribute electricity. Investment in infrastructure: significant investment in new infrastructure, including transmission lines and distribution networks, to reduce transmission and distribution losses. Renewable energy sources: exploring alternative energy sources such as solar, wind, wind and hydropower to diversify the energy mix and reduce dependence on gas. Better management and accountability, improving management practices, enforcing strict oversight, and ensuring accountability among stakeholders to prevent corruption and inefficiency. And also collaboration with goal experts, partnering with international experts to leverage their expertise and technology to improve the power sector. Additionally, the Nigerian government has taken steps to address the power crisis, including passing a constitutional reform bill that allows states to generate and distribute power. This move is expected to promote energy federalism, enable states to use the energy source best suited for them, and benefit from comparative advantage. Nigerian Shippers Council is on a mission to boost investment in the maritime sector to a whopping $10 billion in the next 5 years. This ambitious goal was revealed by the Council's Executive Secretary and CEO, Mr. Pius Akuta, during a recent media interaction marking his one-year anniversary in office. To achieve this, the Council has already started engaging with key stakeholders who share their vision. This initiative is part of their new five-year program, which focuses on agencies' role as a port economy regulator. The program aims to facilitate trade and maximize business investment in the sector. Some notable achievements of the council include saving over 40 billion naira in the last year from party charter fees. This was made possible through an app introduced by the council, which automates the calculation of freights, charter fees, and other related costs. However, Akuta highlighted that logistics pose a significant threat to Nigeria's ability to benefit from the African Continental Free Trade Agreement Area platform, valued at $3.4 trillion. He emphasized the need for improved connectivity and intermodal transport. The government is set to construct 7 dams in 6 southern Ashuru, Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of the Ogun-Oshu River Basin Development Authority. These dams will enable all year-round farming and enhance food production, aligning with President Bola Tinubu's agricultural agenda. Each dam location will feature 12 greenhouses and open fields for farming, as well as storage houses for farm produce. Additionally, plans are on the way to concession the hydropower generating component of the Oyan Dam to increase the country's power supply. The Oyan Dam, commissioned in 1979, has 3 turbines capable of generating 9 megawatts of electricity. Dr. Ashiru emphasized the crucial role dams play in addressing ecological problems like flooding, as they control large water surges that could cause havoc downstream. He also urged consulting engineers to incorporate green technology into their designs to mitigate climate change effects. Meanwhile, Nigeria has experienced a significant number of building collapses, with 135 incidents and 26 deaths reported between 2022 and 2024. The Council of Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria, COREN, noted that the country recorded 22 building collapses between January and July 2024. Efforts to address building collapses include new regulation. COREN has developed 10 regulations to address building collapse challenges nationwide. Increased monitoring and enforcement. COREN will increase monitoring and enforcement to tackle quackery and violation of engineering regulations. Those found guilty of infractions will face penalties, including fines, imprisonment, or license seizure. The federal government of Nigeria has recognized their critical role as the engine of the Nigerian economy. SMEs employ over 80% of the nation's labor force and contribute. 18 state governments have already signed up for this partnership, which will enable SMEs to access loans with dignity. Benefits of the single-digit loan includes SMEs will have access to a confident environment to operate and grow their businesses. Single-digit interest rates will reduce the burden of repayment. Applicants can submit their applications without requiring connections or knowing someone in the government. The program will be implemented across all states, allowing SMEs from various regions to benefit. This initiative demonstrates the government's commitment to boosting small businesses and promoting economic growth. By providing access to affordable loans and reducing regulatory barriers, the government aims to empower SMEs to drive Nigeria's economic development. Federal government has launched a 200 billion naira presidential intervention fund to support micro, small and medium enterprises and manufacturers. This fund aims to boost economic growth and industrial development in the country. Eligibility criteria: to apply for this fund, your business must meet the following requirements. Existing business must have been in operation for at least 1 year. Registered startup must provide CAs to global standing instruction. Application process to apply, follow these steps. Visit the official application portal at working capital or asset financing. Maintain at least a 6-month business corporate banking relationship. Provide additional documentation as required by the bank. Fund distribution, the 200 billion naira fund will be divided equally between SMEs and manufacturers, with 75 billion naira allocated to each sector. This strategy allocation aims to fortify economic resilience and encourage responsible business practices within the business landscape. Repayment terms, the loan repayment terms is 3 years with monthly equal installments and no moratorium for manufacturers. Asset financing comes with a 5-year repayment period, and working capital financing includes a 6-month moratorium on principal and interest, followed by a 12-month equal installment repayment plan. Nigeria's federal government is taking bold steps to attain 39 trillion naira negative net asset balance. The Accountant General of the Federation, Dr. Oluwatoyin Madin, announced plans, roads, hospitals, schools, and equipment. This move aims to provide transparent financial statements needed by international donors, investors, and economic stakeholders interested in Nigeria. Key objectives of the National Asset Register: accurate asset documentation. It will improve asset meets standalone a significant negative net asset position with total liabilities exceeding total assets. By addressing this issue, the National Asset Register will help transform Nigeria's net liabilities into positive net assets. Benefits of the National Asset Register: enhance accuracy and timeliness of consolidated financial statements, provide a clearer picture of federal assets, boost investor trust and attract international donors, contribute to Nigeria's economic development and growth. The Office of the Accountant General has emphasized the importance of compliance, urging MDAs to expedite action on legacy asset rendition to avoid sanctions. With this initiative, Nigeria is taking a significant step towards improving its financial management and economic stability. Maritime Workers Union of Nigeria and the Senior Staff Association of Statutory Corporation and Government-Owned Companies are pushing for the reinstatement of tally clerks and gangway security personnel. According to Adewale Adedianju, President General of MWUN, these roles are crucial for maintaining accurate records of cargo and ensuring accountability income for the nation. Tally clerks, responsible for tracking the quantity and weight of goods, play a vital part in strengthening port income through proper documentation. Unfortunately, the absence of Nigerian Ports Authority and Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency staff in over 150 jetties pose a significant security risk. Key concerns: lack of NPA and NMSA personnel in jetties enables criminal activities and economic sabotage. Country losing huge revenue due to inaction by NPA and NMSA. Jetties serve as key landing and storage points for goods and services. Akinola Bodundu, president of SSASCGOC, highlighted that jetties are scattered through. Nigerian stock market experienced a significant downturn on Wednesday, erasing 337 billion naira from investors' portfolios. This decline came just a day after the market broke a 6-day losing streak. Market performance highlights: benchmark index dropped 556.37 points, that's 0.57%, to 96,567.24. Market capitalization decreased 0.57% to 53.01%. Despite the overall bearish sentiment, 20 stocks gained, narrowly outpacing 21 decliners. Top gainers: Unicel plus 9.87%, Regency Alliance Insurance plus 9.30%, Veritas plus 9.17%, FCMB Group plus 7.73%, EcoBank Transnational Incorporated plus 7.44%. Top losers: United Bank for Africa minus 9.99%, Oando minus 9.98%, Thomas Wyatt minus 9.79%, Nascon Allied Industries minus 7.83%, Lasaco minus 7.50%. Sector-wise, insurance plus 0.49%, 0.92%, and consumer goods minus minus 0.10.04 billion naira, traded across 9,021 deals. Sterling Financial Holdings Company PLC led trading volume with 79.6 million shares worth 401.9 million naira. UBA topped trade value charts. This downturn highlights the ongoing volatility in the Nigerian stock market. It's facing opposition from three Nigerian oil marketers, AYM, Shafo, Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, from issuing licenses for petroleum product imports. The marketers argue that granting Dangote's application would create a monopoly, harming Nigeria's oil sector and leading to higher fuel prices. They claim that Dangote's refinery doesn't produce enough to meet Nigeria's daily consumption needs. In fact, the refinery has started producing diesel, aviation fuel, and LPG, but the key concerns monopoly risk. Dangote's dominance in the market could lead to inflated fuel prices and limited consumer choices. Energy security. Relying on a single refinery increases the risk of energy crisis. Competition. Smaller refineries and independent marketers may struggle to compete with Dangote's influence. Dangote's refinery is a massive project covering 2,635 hectares of land with a 650,000 barrels per day integrated refinery capacity. The refinery aims to meet 100% of Nigeria's refined product requirements. The court has said January 20th, 2025. NTBE market is also awaiting the start of Dangote's residue fluid catalytic cracker unit, which will impact gasoline supplies and exports. We are open for advert placements. Book growing cybersecurity crisis of Africa and Nigeria. ISAN warns that cybersecurity is no longer just a cyber awareness campaign. Educate citizens on cybersecurity threats and safe online practices. Redesign school curricula to include cybersecurity education. Foster public-private partnership for comprehensive training programs. Talent development. Invest in cybersecurity education and training. Provide continuous learning opportunities for IT professionals. Offer competitive salaries and career advancement opportunities to retain talent. By working together, Nigeria can build a secure digital future and bridge the cybersecurity gap. You're watching Atn Business on Atlantic Television Network. We will be back after this break. Welcome back to ATN Business on Atlantic Television Network. Now to the rest of the stories. Donald Trump's re-election as U.S. president has sparked concerns about his impact on the economy and financial markets. Treasury yields were slightly lower on Thursday, November 7, 2024, as investors reacted to Trump's sweeping election victory and awaited the U.S. Federal Reserve's decision on interest rate cuts. The 10-year Treasury yield fell more than 1 basis point to 4, refinancing a significant factor. Additionally, geopolitical tensions could lead to important international buyers groups disappearing. Key market moves: 10-year Treasury yield fell 1 basis point to 4.409%. 2-year Treasury yield fell 2 basis points to 4.247%. Fed funds rates targeted range between 4.75 to 5%. The Federal Reserve is widely expected to deliver another interest rate cut, with financial markets pricing in the prospect of a quarter point move lower as an early certainty. Market predictions favor another quarter point cut in December, following a January pause and multiple reductions through 2025. Upcoming economic data: weekly initial jobless claims figures as at 8:30 a.m. Third quarter productivity and unit labor costs. September wholesale inventories later in this session. Consumer credit data later in this session. These economic indicators will provide valuable insights into the state of the economy, helping investors make informed decisions amidst the current uncertainty. Donald Trump's re-election. Donald Trump's re-election as U.S. president is expected to have severe consequences for Germany's already struggling economy. Germany narrowly avoided a technical recession in the third quarter, with its GDP growing by 0.2% after a 0.3% contraction in the previous quarter. However, Trump's victory may exacerbate the situation, according to Moritz Schulrich, president of the Kiel Institute for the World Economy, who described it as the most difficult economic moment in the history of the Federal Republic of Germany. Germany's heavy reliance on exports makes it vulnerable to Trump's proposed tariffs and import restrictions. The U.S. has become Germany's second largest trading partner, accounting for around 9.9% of German exports in 2023. Trump's threatening tariff of 10% to 20% on almost all imports could result in significant losses for German exporters, with estimated damages of 3.33 billion euros and a potential 15% decline in exports to the U.S. Key sectors affected: autos. Historically a key pillar of German industry, autos are highly exposed to potential Trump tariffs. Chemicals, another crucial sector. Chemicals may also face significant challenges due to Trump's trade policies. To mitigate this risk, Germany and the EU must take proactive measures, such as deepening EU services market integration and implementing credible retaliatory measures against the U.S., according to Lysandra Flack, director of the IFO Center for International Economics. In the face of this uncertainty, German political leaders, including Chancellor Olaf Scholz and former Vice Minister Christian Lindner, have emphasized the need for diplomatic efforts to convince the U.S. that the trade conflict is not in its best interest. Germany's government turmoil, sparked by Lindner's sacking, may further complicate matters. Donald Trump's decisive victory in the presidential election had led to a surge in stocks, with the Dow Jones Industrial Average Futures rising 12 points, or 0.17%. The S&P futures and Nasdaq 100 futures also traded up 0.13% and 0.22% respectively. This rally was fueled by Trump's win, which sent the Dow soaring over 1,500 points, with S&P 500, Nasdaq Composites and Russell 2000 all reaching new all-time highs. Key market movers: Dow Jones Industrial Average up 12 points, or 0.17 points. S&P futures up 0.13 points. Nasdaq 100 futures 0.22%. Bitcoin jumped in value. US dollar strengthened. Banknotes increased in value. International funds struggled. Solar stocks struggled. Investors are now eagerly waiting the Federal Reserve's interest rate decision, scheduled for Thursday afternoon. The Fed is expected to lower borrowing costs with a 100% likelihood of a rate cut, according to CME Group's Fed Watch tool. This could be the second consecutive rate cut after the Fed's decrease in September. Before the announcement, traders will be keeping an eye on economic data, including jobless claims and wholesale inventories. Quarterly earnings reports from Moderna and Warner Bros. Discovery are also due before the bell Thursday, while results from Block, Pinterest, and Rivian are expected in the afternoon. As Scott Hefting, head of investment strategy at Global X ETFs, noted, the results are in and the financial markets can breathe a little easier without concern over a prolonged election process. Investors should still be cautious about over and under reaction to geopolitical news. These events can typically cause large swings in asset prices, but fundamentals will win out over time. Trump's election victory has shaken things up in the financial world, and expectations around interest rate cuts are shifting. With Treasuries yields on the rise, it's likely that the Federal Reserve won't be as aggressive with cutting interest rates this winter. Right now, the Fed funds rate, which determines what banks charge each other for overnight lending, is between 4.75% and 5.0%. It almost certain that the Fed will cut interest rate by a quarter percentage point, 25 basis points, at Thursday's meeting. However, market predictions for December are less confident, with a 71% chance of another quarter point cut, down from 77% on Wednesday and 72% a week ago. Looking ahead to January, expectations have changed dramatically. The CME Fed Watch 2 suggests that market pricing now favors an interest rate pause, with probability of a quarter point cut dropping to 29% from 41% on Wednesday and 45% a week ago. Meanwhile, the odds of the Fed keeping rates the same in January have increased to 54%, up from 48% on Wednesday and 44% last week. Key factors influencing rate cuts: Trump's economic proposals. His plans to impose tariffs and cut taxes could boost inflation, making it less likely for the Fed to cut interest rates. Inflation concerns: the Fed's preferred inflation gauge, the core PCE price index, could rise by 0.8 percentage points to Trump's tariffs. Economic growth: the economy is growing solidly, but hiring is weakening, which could impact the Fed's decision-making process. These factors will likely influence the Fed's decision in the coming month. As always, it's essential to stay informed and adapt to changing market conditions. Stock futures are up slightly following Donald Trump's presidential election win, with Dow Jones Industrial Average gaining 12 points or 0.70%, and the S&P 500 and Nasdaq 100 futures trading up 0.13 points and 0.22% respectively. This rally was expected as Trump's victory is seen as a boost to sectors like oil, defense, and banking. Key market movers: Asia-Pacific markets experienced a mixed reaction following Donald Trump's win in the 2024 U.S. presidential election. While Japan's Nikkei 225 dropped 0.43%, mainland China's CSI 300 surged 3.02%. The varied response is largely due to concerns over potential shift in U.S. economic and foreign policies, which could impact trade, investments, and geopolitical stability in the region. Key concerns for Southeast Asian marketers: trade policies and tariffs. A protectionist U.S. administration could lead to higher tariffs on goods exported from Southeast Asia, affecting export-driven economies like Vietnam, Malaysia, and Thailand. U.S.-China rivalry. The intensifying rivalry between the U.S. and China presents both opportunities and risks for Southeast Asia, as countries may be pressured to align with one side. Foreign direct investments. A change in U.S. administration could significantly influence the flow of FDI into region, either by encouraging investment through trade liberalization or discouraging it through protectionist policies. In terms of specific market performance, Hong Kong's Hang Seng Index was up 2% as of its final hour of trade, while South Korea's Kospi rose marginally to 2,564.63. Australia's S&P Australia's S&P ASX 200 traded 0.33% higher, ending at 8,226.3. Overnight in the U.S., all three major benchmarks hit record highs following Trump's victory, with the Dow Jones Industrial Average surging 1,508.05%, 5 points, or 3.57% to a record close of 43,729.93. European markets are off to a strong start today, with a pan-European stock 600 index up 0.3% in early trading. Most sectors are in positive territory except for healthcare, retail, industrials, travel and leisure, and telecom stocks. Several major European firms have reported their earnings with mixed results. Atn shares dropped 10% despite reporting a jump in third-quarter sales, making it the worst performer of the index. On the other hand, GN Store Nord, a Danish manufacturer of hearings, aids, and headsets, saw its shares surge more than 10% after its latest results. Telefonica shares were down 3.1% after the company reported a €314 million impairment in Peru, while Wizz Air shares lost 6.7% after posting a 33.2% drop in operation profit. Germany's DAX is trading 0.85% higher this morning, following Chancellor Olaf Scholz's decision to sack his financial minister Christian Lindner, effectively ending the three-party coalition. This move raises the possibility of snap elections, with Scholz announcing a vote of confidence in the German parliament on January 15th. Central bank decisions. All eyes are on the U.S. Federal Reserve and Bank of England, which are expected to announce rate cuts today. Traders anticipate a 96.1% chance of a quarter-point rate cut by the Fed, following a half percentage point reduction in September. The Bank of England is also widely expected to cut rates, which will be its second rate cut this year. Global market reaction. Global markets continue to react to Donald Trump's decisive election win, with U.S. stocks rallying yesterday as Wall Street welcomed the speedy conclusion of the presidential election. Asian Pacific markets were mixed overnight, reflecting the uncertainty surrounding the U.S. election outcome and its potential impact on global trade and economic growth. This is where we wrap it up on this edition of ATN Business on Atlantic Television Network, right here in the city of Port Harcourt. I am Wendy Aguma. We are open for advert placements, bookings, and commercials. Stay connected on ATN socials, Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, X formerly Twitter, Atlantic TV Net. Watch us live on our website, atlanticnetwork.tv. Peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Thank you for watching and good afternoon.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
Every day our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics,
Nobody's ambition is what they blood.
I have fought a very family.
natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody, and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on ATN Politics today.
People into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honorable
You human trafficker.
Honorable
So no agreement with the EU, but
from the lines across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains. Through the Sahara, we bring on-the-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
Every day our lives are changed by history,
We are one people, all of us.
leaders, politics,
Nobody's ambition is what the blood.
I have fought a very family.
natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody, and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on ATN Politics today.
People into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honorable
You human
On the point of order.
Honorable
They are not picking our calls.
It's
They
on
made
the
up their
cards
mind.
to replace the politics. So no agreement with the EU, but
from the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
Every day our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics,
Nobody's ambition is what the blood.
I have fought a very family.
natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on ATN Politics today.
People into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honorable
You human trafficker.
Honorable
You are a human
on them. They are not picking our calls. They made up their mind.
So no agreement with the EU